This is Love, Sex, and Society with Bridget and Dawn. Please like, subscribe, and share.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Love, Sex, and Society with Bridget and Dawn. Hope everybody's had a great week so far, and I hope everybody is ready to have a great weekend, no matter how you celebrate it. Whether you celebrate it with your homies or you celebrate it with your love of your life, just have a great weekend.
Miss Dawn's birthday weekend, y'all.
Yes, it is. Yes, and I'm gonna definitely have fun. Thank you. Yes, we're gonna do it big. We gonna do it big. I'm gonna have some fun. A lot of things like the whole weekend is planned out. So from Friday to Sunday, I'm gonna be having fun.
Good.
You got anything planned? Galentine's? Any Valentine's, you know what I'm saying? Stepped in your DM, like, you know what I'm saying? I want to take you out and spend some money on you, Bridge. No,
I'm working.
Not at night.
I'm working probably like 7 or 8. Then I'm gonna go home and go to sleep.
Not good. But you know what? That's okay. It's the last year. It's the last year like that.
It is. We're claiming that. My therapist said the same thing.
Last year like that. After work next year, you're gonna get whisked away somewhere. Somebody gonna flew you out. So that's the big plans. So I'm gonna talk about tonight. I want to talk about avoiding burnout. There's a lot of things that you can get burned out on. Is there anything that you do in particular? 'Cause I know you work a lot. So is there anything you do in particular that like to avoid burnout?
Yeah, because sometimes I feel burned out from work, and then also like trying to squeeze the gym in between there too. So it's like listening to your body sometimes, you know, because sometimes I feel like sometimes you got two voices in your head. You got one that's like on some lazy shit, and then you got the other one that be like, come on, push through. Like, you know, so sometimes I have those days where it be like, go to the gym. You need to go to the gym. Like, you know, so I go even though I'm tired as hell. But it's like once in a blue moon that I'll be like, no, you cannot go, you know, because I'll be like extremely hard on myself on going. And then on those days, I just actually go to sleep at a decent time, you know, because I used to go to the gym like really late. And or like I was talking to my therapist like 2 weeks ago, telling her how I was like burnt out and I was like extremely exhausted. And she like, you need to focus back on your self-care. So I went and got a massage last week, you know, and then I'm like, that's something that I want to start doing for myself because it just put me in a better mood, you know. So I think like really like practicing self-care, listening to a sermon, stuff like that like mentally and spiritually put my mind in a good place, you know, even though my body is physically exhausted. But what about you?
So I haven't had to do it in a while. Now at work, of course, I have zero problems with taking time off. I will put some days in and just, you know, and just kick it. But what I'll do is I try to disconnect, put the phone down, maybe even leave the house, go get a hotel room just to chill. Especially, you know, from work. And whenever you are accessible, people will try to access you. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll try to get at you. Even with you don't answer your phone, they'll knock on your door. Like, come on, if I'm not answering my phone, that means I don't want to be bothered. But so sometimes you just gotta go grab a hotel room by yourself, have dinner by yourself, chill. I don't with my current marriage, I haven't experienced any burnout. We enjoy each other's company. We hang out all the time. So sometimes me and her will just disappear, hit a hotel room, and try to avoid everybody. Like I think people should. The way that the phones have become such a part of our lives, we can always be contacted. Don't be afraid of D&D. Put that phone on D&D and close your door. Meditate. Listen to some music that you like. Do things that are outside your everyday norm. Because even though we don't realize it, I think we get burned out.
Yeah.
Even though we don't really know we're burned out until it all crashes in on us. And then it's too late. You know what I'm saying? So take those mental wellness days, even if it's not from work or not work, take it from people.
Yeah.
Friends will not respect your barriers, and they will intrude on your life even when you're like, look, I just need time for me. To them, that means you need time for us. No, I need time for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sometimes you have to disconnect. And I think social media, we're always on social media. So we have our own problems. Now we're watching other people's problems on social media. We turn on the TV, we're watching somebody's problems.
Right.
Just disconnect from all of that. It's killing us mentally, and it's not happening slowly. I think we're quickly dying mentally.
Right.
And if you find something that you really enjoy doing, like I know you like to go to the gym, so no saying, even though, but some people are like, oh, but you're working out, like you're really still exhausting your body. Yeah, but you're mentally releasing at the same time you're working out. You throw your headphones on, no saying, and you working out, you don't have to pay attention to nobody around you. It's just you and your workout. So
Yeah.
the fact that you're able to do that, like that's good, especially because you work so much. You know what I'm saying? Hardest working woman in the business right here, yo. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I definitely do the do not disturb though, and I think people around me, like my friends or even like my sisters, sometimes like I feel like sometimes they get in their feelings because I be having my phone on do not disturb, but like me being a hairstylist, people will literally text you at 2 o'clock in the morning, asking about stuff. People text me on my off day, which that's something that I'm trying to create a boundary of like, if it's not an emergency, like do not text me on my off day, just simply because like if anybody else work, when you off, you don't have to worry about responding to stuff when it comes to work,
Right.
and it being a hairstylist, the fact that like new people is trying to come to you, your clients is asking questions, and sometimes my clients, we be a little personal, so sometimes they just updating me about life and stuff, but it get overwhelming when you have a large amount of people calling and texting you every single day. So I be putting my phone on do not disturb, and the fact that like I work a different schedule than like the norm, some people don't understand it. Like, sometimes I go to the gym like real late at night. I don't go to sleep until like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes. So I'm gonna have my phone on do not disturb for like, like I don't gotta work until like 10, so it's like I'm gonna have, my thing on do not disturb or whatever. And some people be feeling the type of way about it, but it's just like, this is so I can get good quality sleep, because I realize like not getting good quality sleep, being a hairstylist is so much wear and tear on your body, so you're like mentally and physically exhausted, so I'm like, I need to prioritize my sleep, so if that means I have to put my phone on do not disturb, it is what it is.
Yeah, you got to lock people out, and the iPhone, I haven't used it yet, but there's a screening thing on the iPhone now. You can screen calls, so they could, yeah, you when they call, they got to announce who they are, and you listen to who they are, and you decide whether you want to answer the call. I haven't used it yet, but I was watching a video on it where you can actually screen calls, and it's embedded in the iPhone, which I think is cool, especially like for you. Like, you don't want to disconnect, because of course family feel like, oh, what if there's an emergency? Yeah, okay, I'm not a doctor, so if there's an emergency, I still couldn't have done anything to change it. So this way, you can still have the access that you want, but not allow just everybody to bombard your boundaries and be like, I know you're off today, but I have 50 questions about my hair. No, not today, tomorrow when I'm back home. You only take like one day off any damn way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't really take a lot of time off. So they got time to get in contact with you, but your downtime is your downtime. And even in relationships. And I know a lot of people in relationships are going to feel funny about this, but sometimes you do need to go your separate ways and just Sometimes you just spend time with you. I'm not talking about, okay, so you're gonna not be with your girl or not be with your man, but you're going to hang out with your homies.
Yeah.
No, sometimes just go off by yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Go get a massage by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Go to the
Yeah.
spa by yourself.
Right.
Self-care is not always we care.
Hmm.
Sometimes it's just self-care, you know.
Yeah.
When my wife goes to get her nails done, even though she doesn't like getting her nails done at the nail shop because she feels like they talk to her too much. So I'm like, yo, just put your headphones in and get your nails done.
Hmm.
Like, let that be your time to
Yeah.
relax, disconnect from everybody. Don't sit there, worrying about what's going on your phone or worry about what's going on with other people. Just disconnect.
Right.
Um, we have to protect our own sanity, and I think we don't do enough of that. And then on top of the fact that Black people don't go seek therapy as much as they should.
Right.
So what are we doing for our own mental health?
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like your body will break down, but your mind will break down as well.
Yeah.
Um,
That me and my therapist was actually talking about that today. She was like, because like how it is now, a lot of people just so focused on I always got to be doing something, like even
mhm,
when, it's snow and stuff like that. It's like people really learn that it's like a lot of people are they have high functioning depression because they realize like even an off day, oh, I got to do something, and that's not a good thing if you feel like you can never just relax. And she
mhm,
basically was like, because people are operating like that, um, you gonna start, you working to make money, but you might not ever get to enjoy the fruits of your labor because you gonna break your body down by doing that, mentally and physically. um so she was explaining that, like, even though she's married, she was like, I literally get dressed up and I be going out to eat. My husband be like, why are you all dressed up? Like, who you going to? And she like, I'm going out by myself. Like, and she like, because this is for me, you know. But we were just talking about how you're supposed to like prioritize yourself and your self-care and why it's so important.
yeah. I know there was a job that a friend of mine used to work at, and the company would actually give them half days on Friday for
Mm-hmm.
self-care. And
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, yo, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because if you're not functioning properly, you're not going to be productive at work. So the
Yeah.
fact that they let them, they shut down half day on Friday, go. So they get a weekend and a half basically,
Yeah.
um, to kind of detox from their week. So I felt like that was, and they got paid for that time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They were still paid for that time. So it's not like they were losing anything.
Mm-hmm.
And even with that, some of the people in that office would still leave there and go do something for somebody else.
Mm.
I'm like, no, it's self-care. Like,
Right.
care for yourself. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Disappear for that 4 hours that you're supposed to be at work.
Yeah. Do you like, so what do you feel like are signs that someone is like extremely burnt out? Because like I said, I feel like a lot of people aren't self-aware to know that a lot of people are like have high functioning depression. And so like they're like doing all this stuff but they don't realize, like, they're really depressed. So like, what would you say is some signs that someone is like have high functioning depression, or they're like burnt out, but they can't recognize that they're burnt out because they're working so much to not even recognize that, like, I'm exhausted?
Uh, Extreme irritability. When
Yeah.
you get frustrated and angry at everything and everybody, you're probably burning yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
And since you don't know what it looks like, you're turning that instantly into anger and frustration.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of it. I know a lot of people feel like, oh, that's just my personality. No, but if you took time for yourself a lot more, probably wouldn't be a personality, because you would be able to tolerate people a little more if you
Right.
take some time for yourself. If listen to a book, like put your phone on D&D so they're not disturbing you while you're listening to your book. Listen to a good book. I know we don't take a lot of time out anymore to read. And it's just because we don't have that physical paper in front of us no more. So we're not standing at the screen to read, even though we'll stay on social media all day. But take a moment, listen to a good book, listen to some sounds, some earthly sounds. You know what I'm saying? Some earthly sounds. Some things to ground you, but do it by yourself. And you don't need anybody. You don't need to hold anybody. You don't need nobody holding you. You just need to hold yourself. You know what I'm saying? Spend some time with yourself and detox from the world.
Yeah.
This world is toxic, and we don't realize it, but we have so many inlets now to where we can absorb that toxicity. Just detox.
Right.
Don't go on social media. Whatever's going on Facebook, I promise you, it'll still be there when you sign back in.
Yeah.
IG, same thing. TikTok, whatever it is, whatever your poison is, turn it off. And don't just put the phone down. Log out from the app. This way, it's going to require you to do something to get back into it, not just pick up your phone and look at it.
Right.
Log out from the app. You can log back in. If you forgot your password, it's probably a good thing. But detox from that stuff. Like,
yeah,
people send me DMs with like all types of different videos and stuff. And I'm like, why do people keep sending me like, oh, there was a shootout and such as? I don't want to see that. Like, you know, I have friends up in New York and they'll like take videos on the train and they'll be like, yeah, only in New York. And I'm like, I don't live in New York no more for that reason. I moved away from there.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it. I don't want to ride the train.
Right.
But we have so many inlets. We got to disconnect some of those inlets, or at least block them off sometimes, you know, clog them up.
Yeah. I feel like if you are on social media, like, I feel like too, sometimes people have to like pay attention to who and what type of content you're following. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's negative or full of drama, then you're absorbing that, you know, and sometimes you need to follow people that you want to be more like, you know. I also think like another sign that someone is like has high functioning depression or is just like emotionally and physically burnt out is like people who have anxiety, and specifically like having anxiety when it comes to like sleeping, so like insomnia and stuff like that. Like if you're having trouble sleeping, I feel like that's a sign that you could be burnt out. Your mind is like overthinking, like, you know, so that's messing with your mental, you know. So I think people should pay attention, like if you're not getting good quality sleep, you know, like you said, stop looking at the phone before you go to bed, listen to some like sound or do a breathing exercises, meditation. Sometimes it can even be your mattress or like, you know, like even the massage thing. Like I feel like that did like it worked so well on me, because like that's why I ultimately went, because I was like not having good quality sleep, and my therapist was like, well, what are you having anxiety about? And I'm like, it's not necessarily anything I'm having anxiety about, you know. But I think my body was just burnt out, like, you know, from working and stuff. And just getting that massage, it was like, it felt like so much was released from my body that it's like, okay, now I'm just naturally getting tired at night, and I'm like getting a good amount of sleep, you know. So I think it's like recognizing those things, like you said, irritability and insomnia and stuff like that, and knowing like, okay, something's off of me, you know. Like I feel like people really have to learn their bodies, you know. Um
And
and what
the more you look at, like you said, the more your mind is constantly going. So you're constantly thinking about things, and it's not even things that's important. So you're not thinking about the utmost important things. Like you're not trying to figure out how to make $1 million the next day. Like you're literally just sitting there thinking about foolishness. And I think you're supposed to, or at least the professionals say, you're supposed to disconnect from the phone 2 hours before you go to bed. So you can release whatever you've been looking at from your mind, so that you can have that sound sleep. My wife bought me a smart ring for my birthday. She gave it to me early.
Mm-hmm.
And when I realized how horrible my sleep pattern was,
Mm-hmm.
it was because it'll show you like when you are in deep sleep, when you're in light sleep, when you're getting REM sleep. And it was literally going up and down the entire night. And I was like, yeah, I got to start disconnecting from the phone, watch what I'm watching on TV, you know what I'm saying? Like control what I'm watching on TV because my sleep pattern was, I never knew that it was up and down the whole night like that.
Yeah.
From deep sleep to light sleep to damn near awake,
Mm-hmm.
then back
Yeah.
into deep sleep. I'm like, damn, I really didn't sleep.
Right.
So like I really didn't get a good night's sleep.
Yeah. I actually have moments where it's like I because like I'm a real vivid dreamer. So like even before even like after that whole massage, I had a night where like I feel like I really didn't sleep because I was literally like in and out of sleep. Like it felt like I was halfway in and halfway out, and I knew it. You know, even when I got up, I'm like, dang, like it's like my eyes kept moving. I do also think though, even though people probably hate me always bring this up, I do think some of it plays a part in like what we eat or what we consuming too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Even
yeah.
outside of that, like I think, like of course, coffee. That's something that I'm like. Like I had a coffee, I don't know, a few days ago when I said I was like, yo, that was the shittiest sleep. Um, like no matter how early, if I was to have a cup of coffee, it do not matter. Like that night, I'm literally struggling to stay asleep. Like, and it's almost like, yo, I need to detox this shit out my body, where I'm like, yo, I just can't have this. Like, no matter if I want to use it from time to time, like, because I was trying to do my taxes and stuff. I'm like, even though I want to use it as energy sometimes, I'm like, I can't because it just keeps me wired up. And I feel like the same thing with like alcohol too. Like some people, they drink alcohol and they be knocked the fuck out. Like my body is not wired like that. Like if I drink alcohol, I'm not sleeping. Like, it was the same when I used to smoke weed. When I used to smoke weed, something and people, everybody's body is different. People be like, "Oh, I smoke weed, I'll be knocked the fuck out." Da, da, da. When I used to smoke, I never slept. Like I would sleep for 1 hour, wake up, smoke, go back to sleep. Like the worst sleep of my life. You know what I'm saying? So I think, yeah, it might work for some. Everybody is different, but I think some people not realizing that like all of that stuff will affect your anxiety and insomnia and not having good quality of sleep, which is affecting your mental. If you consuming certain things. So me personally, like I know my body. I'm like, dang, like even coffee. I'm like, this got to get out my system because I just want to get. And then I noticed that like the times that I was drinking coffee for a long time, I was not sleeping. The moment that it really like detoxed on my body, where I finally like wean myself off of it and say I'm off of it for a whole week, the quality of sleep is completely different. And I could say that with everything. Like I said, when I used to smoke weed and even alcohol.
Yeah, it like even like what you said, like what we eat. And although, I don't know if I could ever become a vegetarian or vegan, I don't know if I could ever do it. But if you think about it, we eat fear. Like
Yeah.
we eat stress
Yeah.
because that animal is sitting there thinking, when am I getting ready to get slaughtered? You know what I'm saying? Like we're
Yeah.
we're consuming that stress.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't know if I could do it. You know what I'm saying? I love a good hamburger. But I think it would, because even when I first stopped eating pork,
Mm-hmm.
I noticed so much about me changed.
Mm-hmm.
Like the things that would go into my mind changed.
Mm-hmm.
My attitude changed.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I was just thinking, oh, well, you just change the atmosphere. Because at the same time I stopped eating pork, I also moved out of New York. But when I tell you, getting rid of the stress that I was eating with that pork,
Yeah.
I was like, yo, my body feels different. Now, of
Yeah.
course, I've done other things to tear up my body in the interim, drinking and stuff like that. But getting rid of pork was like a major thing.
Yeah.
Even when I used to fast,
Mm-hmm.
when I was a practicing Muslim, I used to fast. the 30 days for Ramadan. You don't realize that sometimes we just use food as a crutch
Mm-hmm.
for boredom. So like if we're bored, we'll eat. But when you're fasting, oh my God, like you can't do nothing but think about inner peace because
Yeah.
everything else gets on your nerves. It's like I got to think about inside me. That's
Mm,
it.
yeah.
And you actually feel that peace within you. I think even though I'm not a practicing Muslim anymore, I think I'm gonna go back to fasting during Ramadan. It's 30 days. You fast from sun up to sundown. It's not all day.
Mm-hmm.
I know some Christians will do that for like Lent. They'll like fast like
Yeah.
30 days, and I'm like, yeah, I ain't about to starve myself in 30 days. But sun up to sundown, when you're the most active and you're connecting with the most people,
Yeah.
that's when you need that inner peace. And I used to have it when I was fasting. So anybody who want to fast, just look on just Google when Ramadan is. It's a good time to do it. 30 days. You eat at breakfast before the sun comes up, and you don't eat again until the sun goes down. It's not all day. It won't kill you, I promise. But see if you see a difference in that month.
Yeah.
And then from there, maybe you can go vegetarian or vegan so we can stop eating the stress. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. People always ask me like, so when you stop eating meat, like, do you like feel better like mentally? And I'm like, it's been so long. Because I feel like the time that I stopped eating meat was also the time that I feel like my mind started to fully develop. So I don't know if that's where
Mm.
I got clarity when it comes to certain things, or it
Has
was.
it been that long?
Yeah, it's been like 7 going on 8 years.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Cause I ain't gonna lie, the way I be seeing people out here, I be like, people is not right. And I'm like, it must be the fucking meat. Like, that's the only thing I can honestly think of. I be like, what the fuck is wrong with people? And I'm like, it's that fucking meat. Like, So I mean, I joke around and say that shit, but I'm not gonna lie. I be like, yo, why the fuck is so many people like crazy as hell? Like, yeah, it could be me just making an excuse like, oh, it's because y'all consume meat, but I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, there's some truth to it because, like I said, like if when we stress, it's not like we just stress in our mind. That what our mind tells our body what to feel.
Yeah,
So if we're stressing mentally, our mind is going to tell our body we're not doing well.
yeah,
So if you think about an animal who's walking around all day,
mm,
watching other animals get pulled off, get slaughtered, and know that they're next, that's stressful.
yeah,
I know it would be stressful for me if I watch my homeboy get taken off to the slaughterhouse, and they're like, "Yeah, one day it's gonna be you too." I'm like, that's stressful.
yeah,
But now we're consuming that stress. Now
yeah,
we're eating the stress that they felt.
right. I think the other thing with me, and no, this is not me pushing no one to go vegan because honestly, I don't care. Okay. Um, But I also think another thing is just that people are consuming animals that aren't being tested for any type of diseases. So you really don't know what you're consuming. You feel me? Like
Mhm.
you don't know if these animals that you eating have some type of virus or disease or whatever, and you literally just eating their flesh. So um I think that's something that people people you know have to be cautious about too, like eating meat.
Yeah, because even like with pork, a lot of people don't notice like the pig is naturally poisonous. Like their function on this earth was to clean the earth. So if they can sustain that much poison, they can't be good internally. And then you fried it up. Good pork chop, people.
Yeah, and if you
Nah,
talk
no
about
good. No
pigs, they
good.
they was putting demons inside pigs, so that's probably why some of y'all little
Hmm.
demonic.
Yeah.
But
Some of y'all, don't know why, but there it is.
yeah, but yeah, you want to talk about my topic?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
Okay,
think it's a good segue.
okay. So my topic is stop overthinking and ask the question. So like and I'm speaking from like dating or relationship standpoint, like, do you feel like when people overthinking, clearly it's because they're worried when it comes to something about their partner. Clearly they feel unsure. So, and when I say stop overthinking and ask the question, I feel like when you're dating someone or in a relationship with someone, I feel like you shouldn't be scared to ask them something. But sometimes people look at that like they're being insecure. You know what I'm saying? Like, so hypothetically, if like somebody was dating and they're overthinking, like, well, do they talk to other people or whatever the case may be, do you feel like it's insecure to ask them the question, or do you feel like it's just them seeking clarity? Because I personally feel like it's seeking clarity, and I feel like if somebody's really into you, they're not gonna get mad for you trying to seek clarity. You get what I'm saying?
I I think it's better to ask the question.
Yeah.
Because what happens when we don't ask the question, like you said, we overthink,
Yeah.
and then we start answering the questions in our own head, and sometimes it's fabricated. It's not even what's really going on. But if you got to sit there and answer your own questions that you don't have
Yeah.
the answers to, you're
Yeah.
creating answers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely ask the questions. From the
Yeah.
start, from the time when you first start dealing with somebody, don't be
Mhm.
afraid to ask the questions.
Right.
Ask whatever the hell you want to ask. Get the clarity up front, because the question that you don't ask is the answer you will never receive. So
Right.
ask the question.
Right.
If
Have you
you get mad, then they're probably not the person for you anyway. But go ahead.
have you ever, like, before you were married, have you ever like dated someone and you could tell they were overthinking about something, but they just would not straight up ask you? Like,
Hmm.
and where
Yeah.
they're coming up with scenarios in their head that, like you said, ain't even true. But it's like, you would have just asked me the question, I would have like simply told you like what it was.
I've definitely dealt with women who would think their own way through my
Mm-hmm.
day instead of just asking me what was I doing all day, or where did I go, where was I at. They would think their way through my day, and 99 times out of 100 they would be totally off on what I did my entire day.
Yeah.
If I don't answer the phone, they're like, oh, in their head, oh, he didn't answer the phone because he was with somebody.
Yeah.
Well, you just asked me what I was doing. Either you're going to believe what I tell you, or you're not going to believe it.
Right.
But if you ask the question, at least give me an opportunity to tell you the truth, because you can't get caught in the truth. So let
Yeah.
me give me a chance to tell you the truth. Even if I had a girl one time who I told her, I got some business I got to take care of, left the house. Um, Her friend sees me at a restaurant with two women. Now, when by the time I got back to her, her friend see me at the restaurant sitting across the table with a woman.
Mm-hmm.
And next time she spoke to me, like, she blew up. Oh my God, you was out at a restaurant with some chick. And I was like, if you'd have just asked me, was I at a restaurant? You'd have got a better response from me than you blowing up at me. I said, and tell your friend next time, tell the whole story. Because I was actually with two women at
Mm-hmm.
the restaurant. We were
Yeah.
talking business. So I was trying to get funding. And the two women was in control of that purse string. So, but instead of asking me, she took whatever information she had
Mm-hmm.
and blew it up into this big thing. And I'm like, just ask the question.
Yeah.
And that's not insecurity. I think
Yeah.
that's securing what you have. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? It's the exact opposite of insecurity. Insecure is, I'm not going to ask. I'm just going to form my own opinion, tear down my relationship. It's going to blow up.
Right. Right. I feel like I've had that happen to me where like someone thought I was doing something that I wasn't doing. And you could tell they had like, I'm not gonna say they had anxiety, but you could tell they was like overthinking, and it wasn't what it was. Like, like uh like just even if I said like the do not disturb thing, like, um it's like, oh, the phone on do not disturb. And I feel like a lot of people do this in dating and stuff, because I got homegirls that like freak the fuck out if the dude they talking to got their phone on do not disturb. But it's like, that don't always mean people are cheating. Like, sometimes that mean like that person is just trying to get some good sleep without interruption, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I will have clients text me at 2 o'clock in the morning, but then I got some friends that wake up, like I got some homegirls that's in the military, and they wake up like 5 o'clock in the morning, and they will really start texting at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, hold up. I just went to sleep. You feel me? Like, we on 2 different times. So, and it's not like, oh, I don't want to talk to y'all. Yes, I want to talk to y'all, but we can't talk this early on my end because I literally just went to sleep, and even like my schedule, like if I don't have a client till like mid-morning or something, okay, so I'm gonna go to the gym late night, like, and then I'm gonna put my phone on do not disturb, like, but I feel like there was a time that like that happened to me where somebody thought I was doing something that I wasn't doing, and I just felt like, if you felt like I was doing something, then just ask me, because it's not being insecure, even like, I don't know, like, and I think a lot of things people assume, and I feel like you could just simply ask, like, like, I don't know, but I think for real, I think a lot of people, like people that I've even dated, like I think they misunderstand me because they overthinking something that's not even what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I don't, like, I remember one time I was coming home from the gym, and it was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I don't know why, I just had like a burst of energy. Like, you would have thought that I took a fucking pre-workout or some shit. And so, but I didn't, because I don't take no pre-workout. And so I was just like on Instagram, just saying dumb shit, just like, because I just had all this energy. But it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I remember like one of my clients wrote me, because they follow my real Instagram page. They like, did you just come from a bar? And I'm like, no, I actually just came from the gym. Like, the fuck, So, but I'm like, just something like that. Like, if a client of mine could think like me having energy at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, just being silly, leaving the gym, because I'm single. This is what I do. Like, um, and then automatically it's like, oh, are you drunk? Like, who you was out with? You know what I'm saying? That's like being taken like the complete wrong way. So I think, I feel like if it's ever a time, and I'm talking to men and women, that I feel like if you're dating someone or even in a relationship, I don't think it's being insecure, just wanting some type of like reassurance. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because to me, I feel like someone who really like either likes you, or even if they love you, if you're in a relationship with them, they're not gonna have an issue with reassuring you if you're overthinking and you're thinking something that is not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, just think of the world that we live in and how hard it is to find a good mate any
Yeah,
damn way.
yeah,
So a lot of what we're conditioned to do is we look at the end at the beginning. So we just get with somebody, things are going good, but we're going, okay, so when is it going to fall apart? Like, when is this person going to hurt me? When is this person going to piss me off?
mm-hmm.
So now we're thinking of all the scenarios that can possibly bring you to that point.
Yeah.
Just ask the question. I had this girl one time, she pulled up in front of my house. I was home, my car was out front. But because she saw another car parked in front of my car, not in my driveway, like we're literally on a city street,
Okay.
she thought somebody was with me. And because I wasn't answering my phone, she literally sat in front of my house and cried for an hour and a half because she thought I was cheating on her. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, I was actually in there all alone. If you'd have just knocked on the door, you could have solved that whole damn problem.
Yeah.
Just because I don't answer your call, I am not at anyone's beck and call.
Yeah.
It's a little different now that I'm married. If my wife calls me, I try to make sure that I'm always available to answer a call, because you never know. She could be broken down on the side of the highway somewhere. I got to make sure I'm available. But if you're dating someone and you're trying to get to that point, yeah, quell all of those things. Ask the questions. I remember when me and my wife first got together, our first date, I want to say she asked me probably literally 21 questions.
Mm-hmm.
And she asked me like midway through, like, do you have a problem with, me asking you questions? I was like, no, that's how we get to know each other. Like, ask me anything you want. I'm gonna be 100% honest, because I'd rather us walk into this knowing exactly who each other is, as opposed to who we think the other person is.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, ask the questions. And we got more accomplished on that one date than probably a lot of the relationships I had been in,
Yeah.
because everybody's scared to just ask the question you want to know,
Right.
whatever it is, no matter
Right.
how embarrassing, no matter how intrusive you think it might be. Ask the question. The worst thing somebody can say is, that's not really something I want to talk about,
Right.
or that's a soft spot for me. But ask the question. Just put it on the table.
Yeah. Why do you feel like people struggle with that though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like some people, and even with dating, I feel like some people expect like to go on a date and for people to like just throw it all on the table. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like themselves. Like, oh, I'm Bridget, I'm this age, I'm this, I'm that, I struggle with this in my last relationship. Like of course, and some, I feel like everyone is different. So like you said, like some things might be a little bit more sensitive, you know.
Hmm.
So if someone not, like don't really feel comfortable talking about it, like, you could just, like you said, um but so I feel like sometimes people do have to earn trust for some people to like feel comfortable about those sensitive things. But I also feel like, the person has to ask questions if you want to, like, if you want to know something about me, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like some people do like talk about themselves, but I feel like that shit comes off a little bit arrogant. Like, so I feel like if I went on a date, like, I'm not just about to like be like, oh, this happened in a previous relationship. Like, I'm not about to just, unless you want to know those things from me. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, I feel like if somebody like want to know certain things about me, it's either I'm gonna tell you or I'm not gonna tell you. But I don't know. Like, I'm personally not a person that's just gonna be like go on a date or something and just like without you asking me any questions, just tell my whole lifeline
Your
story.
life. Yeah.
You know?
I think a lot of times people expect that. They expect you to put everything on the table, but sometimes it's things that you're not even thinking of that is actually important to the other person.
Right.
And if you ask the question, here's the one thing that you will definitely avoid. When something comes out and they say, well, you never asked me that. You did ask them. Now, if
Yeah.
they chose to lie to you or they chose to withhold the information, that's something different. But ask the question, because when you're having a conversation with somebody, you're focusing on the here and now. You're not thinking of all the things you've gone through, past traumas. Like, you're thinking of, I just want to enjoy this date. I just want
Right.
to enjoy my time with this person. But if you ask the question, you may get more out of them than they ever possibly would have offered on their own, just because they weren't thinking about it.
Yeah.
Um, a,
Exactly.
a, a, a common question, and I know this is a weird common question, but a question that I actually like to ask females,
Hmm.
maybe not on the first date, but somewhere in the beginning phases, have you ever been raped? Have you ever been sexually assaulted?
Yeah.
Because that tells me I need to handle you a different way, because there may be things that may trigger you, and I would rather not trigger that past trauma. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And be
Yeah.
there to help you through it, because
Yeah.
that trauma doesn't go away. You know what I'm saying? It's there forever.
Right. And the thing is, if someone was raped before, you think they just gonna be like, yeah, and I was raped when I was this age, they're
Right.
not gonna say those things. But I like I feel like if it's like very specific things that's important to a man or a woman to know about someone that you're dating, like if you like, oh, I have to know certain things, ask that person. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like you also can't be like, oh, this person is closed out just because they're not openly telling you like, oh, I've been raped before, or whatever the case may be. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I feel like you have to ask the questions that you want to know about the person in order for you to get to know that,
Right.
I don't know, cause like I don't know. That's just how I view dating. Like I view it like, if you want to know anything about me, I'm an open book. I will tell you, you know, and vice versa. Like, but if you telling me about yourself and it's stuff that it's like, okay, I can see for myself, then I might not need to ask certain questions if you're telling me already. Um, but yeah, I definitely feel like people have to stop being scared to, especially if it's something. That's important.
Yeah, and don't overthink it. Don't sit there and go, well, if I ask this, that might ruin the date, or that might cause an argument between. Just ask the question.
Yeah.
If you just put it out there, but how you ask the question is important as well.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask the question in an accusatory way. Ask them. It, like with that situation when I was at lunch with the
Mm-hmm.
with the two girls, two women. Had the girl that I was dealing with came in and be like, did you have lunch today, or were you out with somebody at lunch today? Yeah, absolutely. Not, oh, you was out with some chick today, and no, just ask the question and I'll give you the answer.
Yeah.
Just put it out. We avoid things,
Mm-hmm.
and then we get mad when those things hurt us later on.
Yeah.
Before I got remarried, there was women that I dealt with, and they assumed that because I had been married before, I was willing to get married to them again. I was willing to get married again, and it was going to be them. Nah, that's the question. I'd have told you. Nah, we just cool. We kicking it.
Yeah.
We kicking it till we get tired of kicking it. It ain't you though. I was honest about that. But I had to wait until I offered that information, knowing there was something that's on the top of their, or the forefront of their mind. Like, are we going somewhere with this? Is this going to be something that we're going to work towards? I had to tell them, nah, I'm chilling right now. I'm just enjoying life.
Yeah.
And
do you like, even with like us talking about this subject, like, stop overthinking and ask the questions. Like, if hypothetically, because you're married, but if you was dating, like, and you could see that a person is holding back, like, you could tell, like for example, that situation, like, what if the woman that you was dating, like, she got that information, but she never said nothing to you, but like little signs could show that, like, she knows something's up, she's overthinking. Do you think, like, even in a dating phase, I definitely feel like in relationships, but like in that situation, do you feel like it would have been better if you'd have been more transparent ahead of time so that it doesn't cause someone to overthink? Because I think being transparent is important. And I think that's a way to avoid someone overthinking. But I think also, if someone is an overthinker, you shouldn't be scared. If you feel like your person is not being transparent, like in that situation, the woman you was with, like, clearly you told her, like, I got some things to handle, but you weren't specific. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to dinner with two women because I'm trying to get funding for my project or whatever the case may be. I think that would have gave her a lot more, like, reassurance and clarity, so that she wouldn't have to sit here and hear from her homegirl, and now she think of all types of thought because now her homegirl making it seem like it's one woman, so it's like, oh, he's on a personal date and he's cheating, and you get what I'm saying? So do you
So
feel like
the only reason I didn't do that with her is because I've taken her to a business dinner before, and she ruined the business deal. And I know this is going to sound really, really sexist, but it's not just a woman, it's men too. Sometimes you just there to be seen, not heard. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you let the person who's doing the business handle the business. Like, she was blurting out all kind of stuff, and they looking at me like, if you can't even pick your damn woman right, I definitely don't want to trust you with my money.
right?
So that's why I left her out of that. In my marriage though, and I know, like, a lot of my boys, I don't know if they would actually say this, but they may feel we share locations.
Mm-hmm.
She knows where I am. I know where she's at. I tell her where I'm going. I tell her when I get there because I want her to know I arrive safely. She does the same thing for me.
Yeah.
And that's not a trust thing. That's
Yeah.
just all about every move you make. We're responsible for each other. You know what I'm saying? So if something, God forbids, happens, we need to be able to say, well, the last time I spoke to him, this is where they were.
Yeah.
You know, so this way you got a point of reference. We watch a lot of freaking crime shows and shit like that. And I'm like, I've seen so many husbands that'll go, well, yeah, well, she what was she wearing when she left the house? Oh, I don't even know. Like, no, I need to see what you wearing. You need to see what I'm wearing. So if anything happens, you at least got a point of reference. It's past trust. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody thinks, oh, it's if you trust somebody, you don't need to share your location with them. It's not about trust. It's about knowing where the person that you care about pretty much the most, because you're laying next to them every damn day.
Yeah.
What's going on with them throughout their day? You know what I'm saying? If I know that she's supposed to be at work, but her location stopped on the highway, I need to try to get in contact with her. Because if she's not moving, there's a problem. She could be broke down. She couldn't have no cell phone signal and just stopped in a dead zone.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think, to be honest, just sitting here talking about this and like really thinking about it, I think that is like a really good question that I feel like people should ask when they're dating and getting to know someone. Do they like transparency? Because I feel like some people would probably be like, oh, I don't need to know like your every move. Like, I trust you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's some people like you meet people and it's like automatically I'm gonna trust you until you give me a reason not to trust you, right? And then you got some people that probably is operating from past hurt, you know, even though it's like they might be getting over it. Because I feel like sometimes healing isn't something that you, depending on what type of stuff you've been through, sometimes that could be a lifelong journey, you know. So I feel like some people need to state that when you're dating, like, I do like reassurance, just so your partner understands that, you know what I'm saying? Because if your partner don't know that, like, not reassurance, I'm sorry, transparency, sorry, I know what I'm talking about. But if your partner likes transparency, you know, that can help them from wandering and overthinking, you know, when you just simply like, I'm going to work, or I'm going to the gym, like, you know, or whatever the case may be. Like, I don't think I ever realized that. I think transparency, I feel like, makes people feel more secure. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it also makes you feel secure because it's like, I might be low key overthinking, but I don't want to come off insecure. So I don't want to be like, okay, you leaving out, where are you going? And then where you going after
Mm-hmm.
that? And then, you know, I don't want to like come off like that. But low key, I feel like as human beings, and I feel like women and men both do it, I feel like we low key like, so you leaving out, like, all right, like, you know, so I think sometimes it's so reassuring when someone be like, okay, I'm on my way to the gym, and then I'm probably gonna be there for 2 hours, and then I'm gonna stop in the market, do this, and then I'm coming back home, and I'm gonna text you when I get home, or whatever the case may be. Because it's like, now it's like, I'm not sitting here wondering like what the fuck is going on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't think I ever realized that. Like, I think not reassurance. I keep saying reassurance, but transparency is a good thing. But I don't know. Do you think people should just give that to people, transparency, when you're dating someone? Or do you think like someone should be like, hey, I'm just letting you know, like, I really do like people who are transparent, like, just so I don't go wandering? Because I am an overthinker.
I think it's okay to ask for that transparency, because not everybody's used to doing it.
Yeah.
Um,
That's how I feel. I don't feel like I ever, not to cut you off, but I don't think I ever had to be transparent, because I don't feel like I ever was in like a real solid relationship where I need to tell someone. And I don't have
yeah,
children. I'm single, you know? So it's like, when I do shit, I just get up and do shit, you know?
yeah.
So it's not like I'll be like, oh, let me check in and let this person know, like, hey, I'm going to do this. You know, it's not a natural thing. But go ahead, Don. I'm sorry.
When you're dating, there's still some level of transparency that still need, even though you don't live together, y'all live in two separate places, there's still some level of transparency. Because if you're out of touch for a while, why let their mind wander and wonder, what's this person doing? I haven't talked to them all day, or I haven't talked to them since yesterday. There's nothing with, hey, this is my plans for today. If I go out of touch, it's because I'm working out at the gym. And when I'm working out at the gym, I usually put my phone on D&D so I can listen to my music uninterrupted.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing wrong with letting somebody know what you're going to be doing to avoid those things, especially if it's somebody who you see a future with. Like you see it's something that can go somewhere. Putting that transparency out in the open in the beginning alleviates months and years of I don't know what's going on later on when it does get serious.
Right.
I think sharing your location with somebody is not where the transparency goes wrong. It's if that person is constantly sitting there staring at your location, going, okay, so they're moving now. Okay, so they was at a stoplight for 5 minutes. I wonder what they was doing for 5 minutes at a stoplight. That's that person has the problem.
Yeah.
But putting it out there, I don't think on a given day, and me and my wife both have each other's location. It's always on.
Yeah.
I rarely look at her location, and she rarely looks at mine.
Yeah.
The only time we do is if, like for example, Fridays, I go hang out with my boys at the bar. I'll go over to the bar, whatever, and I'm usually out of there by 7:00.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's 9:00 and she hasn't heard from me, she may want to check to see where I'm at. If she texts me and I don't reply back now, go to my location.
Yeah.
Now you need to see where I was last at so we can start rounding up people. Okay, you know what I'm saying? They was here. That was the last time the location hit.
Mm-hmm.
They're not there anymore. Something's wrong.
Yeah.
So when you break a pattern, you should have somebody who's checking on you.
Mm.
If you don't, you're lacking love in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether it be, like, I know you and your sisters is tight as hell. You and your sisters are tight.
Mm-hmm.
If they ain't spoke to you all day, they should have some point of reference. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't know why I'm not and maybe it's just because I'm so used to like being by myself. I'm not a like sharing locations type of person. Like when I say two of my homegirls be pressing me, they be like, Bridget, like say I'm leaving one of my homegirls, they like, yeah, and send your location because my one homegirl been asking me for years now, and I'm like, girl, no, I'm grown. Like, and the only time that I've ever shared my location, I told you this before, was one time I decided to go out by myself. And I had some homegirls bluff on me, and I was like, I'm still going to go. And I ended up sharing it with my sister just because I'm like, hey, I'm going out by myself. But on a day-to-day basis, even though sometimes I be out late, like, I don't necessarily share my location. Like, and I don't know why, like, people be feeling some type of way about that. Like, I don't know. And I feel like everyone be saying it though. Like, you need to share your location. Like, like I had my location shared if I catch an Uber, like to my mom. But I did that for safety reasons in the past and I never turned it off. So like now if I catch an Uber, she be like, where the hell you caught an Uber to last night? And I'm like, girl, I'm like, it was cold outside and I didn't feel like walking,
So I like the question that was just asked. Whether if somebody doesn't like texting, do they feel like they should have to like respond to people just to keep their trust? No, you shouldn't have to. But like Bridget was saying earlier, if you're transparent about your actions,
yeah,
up front,
yes,
they won't have to worry about them in the midst of your actions.
right.
If you tell somebody these are my plans for the day, I may be out of touch, or when I'm doing this, I'm normally focused on the task at hand, so I'm not going to be texting back and forth. If you tell them that up front, if they don't hear from you for 2 or 3 hours or something like that, at least they know, okay, well, they're probably still focused on what they were doing. They'll get back to me whenever they're done.
Right.
So no, you shouldn't have to change what you would normally do just to keep somebody's mind at ease, but you should provide some things on the front end so that their mind is at ease automatically, if that makes any sense.
I think so too, because I feel like it's fine to not always want to text, but again, that's where the transparency, I feel like you have to be transparent about that in the beginning of dating, because the thing is, that's like a communication style, and that's where a lot of relationships get tested when it comes to like communication. And I feel like
Mm-hmm.
you have to be fair to the other person, because like if you go on a date with this person, be like, hey, like look, I get busy sometimes, so I really don't like texting, you know, that might be good for you, but you also have to be transparent with the other person, because that might not be good for the other person. The other person might like to text. You get what I'm saying? Just because like texting for you don't like to do, but the other person might actually like to check in through text. So you have to be honest about that from the jump, so that they have the opportunity to be like, okay, well, I want to accept this or I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can work with this
Yeah.
communication style or I can't. Just like if someone like you're dating someone, and some people like, I get so overwhelmed because of work and the gym or whatever else I got to do, and I might not like talking every day. I like to check in every few days. It's cool if that's how you like to communicate, but you have to be honest with the other person, because that might make them have anxiety and overthink. Like, no, like I need someone that talks to me every single day. Like, I need to feel the love. Like, you know, it's nothing wrong with not liking to text, but also like before, as long as y'all can compromise when it comes to communication, and it's not being like what we talked about before, like emotional laziness. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, because I also feel like if you're dating someone, like you're gonna have to communicate with them for a relationship to last. And that's not just like an intimate relationship, even friendships. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I
Mm-hmm.
never talk to my friends, like how is that a relationship? Like, you know, how are we getting to know each other on a deeper level? Like, you know, um but yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think it's nothing wrong with not texting. I'm more of like, I like to talk to people on the phone. But yeah, I don't know. Like you said, no, I think it just, you have to be transparent about it.
Yeah. And the reason that was a really good question is because it is a communication style, but it's not everybody's communication style.
Yeah.
Um, some people would prefer to hear your voice, and some people OD on FaceTime. They love the FaceTime because they just got to see your face. If the ability is there, I got to go ahead and see your face. Go get on FaceTime.
Yeah.
But if that's not your communication style, let that person know up front that that's what it is. When I used to have the barbershop, I used to travel down to Virginia every other weekend to go to the barbershop. When me and my wife first started dating, when I would go down there, I would just become immersed in whatever was going on down there, whether it be the barbershop. After I was done at the barbershop, I might go have a drink. But because I wasn't used to checking in with anybody or having conversations while I was down there,
Mm.
I would go down there and I would disconnect for almost a whole weekend from her. And as opposed to her being worried about what I was doing, she actually brought it up to me. She was like, "Hey, you know what? When you go down there, it seems like we don't really communicate a whole lot, and I don't like not being in communication with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't like going a day or two without communicating." And it clicked. Stupid boy, you got somebody who's actually worried about you. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's thinking about you enough that they want to hear your voice or get a text message from you. Make sure you're okay. That was the last time it happened, though. Like once that happened, and she put it out on the table, like, look, this might bother me a little bit, and I
Right.
was like, you know what? I never thought about it like that way. It won't happen again.
Yeah. Yeah.
So clearing the air is really important. I think that it used to be that most relationships would break up because of finances. Now it's communication.
Yeah.
Communication will destroy a relationship
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah.
So yeah, good, very good question. I'm glad you
Yeah.
asked that.
So my last topic is, what makes a woman irreplaceable?
The same thing that would make somebody irreplaceable on their job. You specialize at what you specialize in. You know what I'm saying? You take care of that person, or you see to that person, or you're attentive to that person more than they've ever received in their life. You are their most valuable player. You are the person that's on their team that they can't rationalize not being with you. And it's not always just one thing, but it's just finding that thing that you're so good at that nobody can come in and take your place on that. It's better if you got a few things that you're good at, because you don't want somebody to be like, okay, well, this one thing I'm going to keep her around for, but these other things I'm going to go find 5 other different women to, know what I'm saying? But being the best version of yourself, and if somebody can still find that you're replaceable, even when you're being the best version of yourself, that's not your person. Like that's not your position. So it's better to learn that quickly. But and a lot of times women don't realize that they're not replaceable. Also, they overthink. And they think, oh, if he got me and he had these other women before me, and he could just get anybody. No, maybe he just found his end. You know what I'm saying? The person that he wants to just rock out with for the rest of his life. Because you showed your value and your self-worth became what you was worth to him.
Yeah. Do you, like, what is there any like I get everything that you're saying, but is it like certain qualities that you be like, money can't buy this?
Oh yeah. Being attentive to your man. I was talking to my daughter last time she was down. She's getting ready to get married.
Oh, congratulations.
And she was asking me similar questions because this is the relationship that she wants to make sure is successful. And I was like, be attentive to him, be his peace, and be attentive to him the same way you want him to listen to your whole day and everything that happened when he does speak, because he's not going to do it often. He's not going to ramble off about the details of his day often, but when he does, be attentive to it. And you don't always have to give them a response. Sometimes you just need to let them know that you're paying attention to what they're saying. A good nod, I hear you. That's crazy that that's happening. Same thing women expect from guys. We kind of need the same thing when we do open up and we do talk about something. The last thing we want to do is open up about something, and then you're like, now wait, what was you saying? I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. Because we need your attention. Attentiveness and peace. Peace is huge for men. And men don't ask for it enough. I'm one that asks for it. Like, be my peace. Because if all I get when I'm with somebody is turmoil, I'm looking for ways to be away from that person. I'm dealing with turmoil all day, every day.
Yeah.
Be the peace that person needs. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
I like that. I love this unconditional. That's huge.
But like, with peace, I feel like we talked about this before, but I feel like with peace, you also have to give peace to receive peace.
Yep. Yeah.
I think sometimes people, I don't want to generalize like men, but it's like, sometimes men like, I just want a woman that bring me peace, but it's like, are you giving her clarity? You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not, then she's gonna bring hell. Like, if you're causing confusion, that's gonna upset her nervous system, and she's gonna, not bring you peace. So I feel like peace is also like something that you have to give in order to receive.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
you can't expect somebody to be a peaceful place if all you're leaving them with is turmoil to deal with. Um, and whether it be every day or yeah, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. Whether it be every day or even every now and then, if all a woman has to deal with is you providing turmoil to their life, they're not peaceful, so they can't give you peace. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if your woman wakes up in the morning and the first thing she hear about is how much you care about her, how much you appreciate her, these are the things I'm gonna be doing throughout my day. I can't wait to see you when I get back home. I know it sounds really, really bubblegum and corny, but that makes a huge difference.
Right.
That makes a monumental amount of difference, as opposed to when I come home, I want peace, but every time I come home, all I hear is you bickering. Yeah, you gave her nothing but reasons to bicker all day.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to give peace in order to get peace, and a woman's peace is different from a man's peace. A woman needs to, and I think I might have made this analogy before, and I'll make it again. Women are planes, men are helicopters. A woman needs an entire runway of peace to make sure that a man has a helicopter pad of peace.
Yeah.
But I do want to touch base on submissiveness, respect, motherly qualities. I need you to expound on that. Good sex is definitely important. Cooking skills, honesty, and peace. Submissiveness. I'm all for a woman that is willing to submit, but you got to give her somebody she can submit to.
Yeah.
Also, if you're not a natural leader, or if you don't have leadership qualities, then she has to lead herself, and she don't have time to submit to you.
Yeah.
But if she can sit back and go, you know what, take the wheel, I'll sit back and be a passenger princess, I guarantee you won't have a problem with submissiveness.
Yeah.
But if she's sitting there going, I need to drive, I need to steer, I need to fill the car with gas, I need to make sure the direction, I got to be the GPS. She's too busy to submit to you. She's got to be in control.
Yeah.
Motherly qualities. That's interesting. That's an interesting. Nah.
Submissiveness, though. Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. I went. My mind was going somewhere totally different. Yeah, especially if you plan on
you.
Because there are guys that want to be mothered. There's guys that want to be mothered, and nobody really want. But if you plan on having kids with somebody, you need to see those qualities, and you can't wait until they have a child to see those qualities. Those qualities need to be present up front in the beginning, before you decide. I want you to mother my child, and because if they don't have motherly qualities before they have a child, there's no handbook that instantly gives it to them. They're just not going to automatically grasp it.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely relate to that. My mind was totally different place.
I don't know how. What was the What was I going to say? What do you think about people who can't? I know this might sound crazy, but can't fully imagine their life with you, but they can't imagine life without you.
It's called selfishness. Being selfish. If you can't see your life with somebody, let them go. Because there's somebody out there who can see their life, can't see their life without them. Let them go. If you're trying to hold on to somebody because you don't want somebody else to have the good thing that you're getting, even though you're not going to give them the life that they want, you're being selfish.
Outside of being selfish, like, why do you think people do stuff like that though? Like, my thing, like, I think the reason why I wanted to ask that is, like, I feel like sometimes, like, it's just like, even when they come to like friendship, right? Like, say you friends with someone and then the whole time you're like, this person really not my friend. They don't really like me, but it's like you still want to be around me. You still want to like get my energy and my love and stuff like that. Like, I get it. It's a selfish thing to do, but like, why? Like, outside of being selfish, is there any reason why you think like people do stuff like that? And like, whether it's a friendship or even like someone that you dealt with, like if they can't imagine their life without you, but don't want no one else to have you, like, what do you think that really
It's
stems from?
they they enjoy the benefits. They enjoy the benefits of what you give, or whether it be the things that you do for them, or
Mm-hmm.
just the energy that they get from you.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are natural pushers, like they can push people forward, they can help people propel from this level to this level.
Mm-hmm.
It's just natural, it's in their nature.
Yeah.
When somebody gets the benefit of that, even though they may not see their life with them,
Mm-hmm.
or they can't imagine them not being in their life, they still want the benefits of that. They still want to benefit from, wow, when I first met this person, I was at point A. Here I am sitting at GH in life in this short period of time. Just imagine where I can be if I keep this person on a string, so to speak, so that they don't leave me. You know what I'm saying? I want to
Yeah.
keep them, I want to keep a pole because I want to keep them far enough away from me, but I still want to be able to pull them back because I need them in my life. Um, it's the worst thing to do to somebody. Um, learn to let go. If you're not going to give somebody what they need and what they desire, let them go. But also, if you desire something, ask for it. And if you get a bullshit reason for them not giving that to you, that's your answer. And it's
Yeah.
probably never going to happen.
Do you think that sometimes it can stem from people just like having control?
Oh, absolutely. Especially a narcissist.
Yeah.
That's their thing. That's what they do. That's what they're good at. And even though it's never been something that anybody could ever accuse me from. As a matter of fact, people will probably accuse me of letting them the fuck go when I shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
But I've definitely seen where people will have this tug of war with somebody. You pulling them back, you pushing them away. You pulling them back, you pushing them away, and that's to keep them in a certain spot. Like you don't want them to go too far away from that spot, and you don't want them to get too close to you outside that spot. So you keep them in that one box, and the only way you can do that is you play the mind games.
Yeah.
Today, everything's happy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, he's happy with me today. And then as soon as you feel like, oh, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? Things are starting to work. Okay, we're happy. They're pushing, they find a reason to argue. They're pushing you away.
Mm-hmm.
Because they need to keep you in that spot. Not too close, not too far away. Too far away, somebody else is gonna find you. Too
Mm-hmm.
close, then they might slip up and catch feelings. So they got to keep you at the right amount of distance.
Yeah.
It's a horrible thing to do. Ladies, gentlemen, please don't do that. Like I implore you.
I have a question. Even though I don't believe for you to be a narcissist, you think I don't believe you're a narcissist at all, because I feel like you're a genuine guy, like you're married, you love your wife, you know what I'm saying? So of course you're not gonna fully understand the mind of a narcissist, but like, do you think that narcissists are self-aware to know the things that they're doing is like intentional, or do you think that they can't even help it? Like, because I feel like a lot of narcissists have so many similar traits. It's unreal, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's like they all pretty much do the almost the same exact things. So do you feel like this is something that mentally they cannot control? Like, do you think they can't control manipulating and controlling people, or do you think this is like something that they just like subconsciously do without them even realizing that they do it?
For some, it's a sickness. For some, that's it's like any other mental illness. It's a sickness. For some, that's their skill set. You know, they're actually good at it. They practice it on a regular basis.
What the fuck?
They do it to people, even when people
Yo,
have
dog, you
you.
so fucking funny. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's. I'm
That is so
telling you, for
scary.
some, like I've watched somebody master it, and they worked diligently on mastering that skill.
Yeah.
So much so that they did it second nature, to
Mm.
where they didn't have to realize they were doing it because they were doing it intentionally, and that's just who they are.
Yeah.
Some people, like I said, some people it's just a it's an ill, and they will go to counseling, and they'll find out, oh my God, like all my life I've been a narcissist and I need to change this. But that's somebody who has a mental illness. But for some people, that's their skill set. That's like they wake up every day to see how they're going to do it to somebody,
Yeah.
anybody.
And you know what I think? I think you're right about that because I think it's equivalent to women who use men. That's a
Mm-hmm.
skill. Because I've I've had like a client who I don't know why she just randomly told me like, yeah, I began meant to pay for everything, like, you know, da da da. And I'm like, okay, like, you know, she was like, you know what I usually do? I just like, oh my God, like I don't know how I'm gonna get my car fixed, and just basically play like damsel in distress type shit. So I guess that would be like um strategically like having a skill of like, okay, how I'm gonna get money out about this person. Like, you know, I've seen videos on a lot of women saying like they even talk to men in like a certain tone of voice, like, you know, to get things out of men. So I guess like, you know, but I don't know if those women will be considered narcissistic. Um, but I think I'm just more curious of like someone who actually has like a real mental illness, like are they self-aware like, oh, I'm manipulating, because it's like you said, it's almost kind of like second nature, like it's almost like they don't got to even think about how to
Mm-hmm.
manipulate. It just comes naturally, like, you know. So that's what makes me question like, is it something that is like they're intentionally doing or they just can't help it, you know?
It, the ones that can't help it, and as a matter of fact, the best way to find out which one is which is to call them on it.
Mm-hmm.
Call them on their narcissistic ways. The person who is like almost in shock, like that, oh my God, you would think I'm a narcissist. That person, they're probably not even aware that they're doing it.
Yeah.
The person who sits there and makes up excuses or reverse blame everything back on you,
Yeah.
they're very aware of what they're doing. And as a matter of fact, them flipping it back on you is a part of their narcissism. They've
Yeah.
mastered it. And they can make you
But
feel like you're crazy because you said that they were narcissists.
I think my thing is I think I'm a little impressed how like narcissists do that shit so easily. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like that's why I'm like, I don't know why I'm just so curious about this, but it's just like you said, it's almost like second nature to automatically shift blame. It's automatic to gaslight. You know, and I'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
are you really coming up with this at the top, the like the top of your head? Like, you know, or is this something that you just like unknowingly do? You know, like, because like I said, a lot of narcissists have the same trait. So it's just like, how the fuck do you like immediately when someone comes to you with an issue, which a lot of them look at it like confrontation, you automatically go into defensiveness and like go to shift blame and then like gaslight, like, you know, and stuff like that. And it's just like, how do you come up with that stuff on the top of your head? Are you just waiting to do it? Like, you know?
If you get away with something long enough and it works for you, you'll constantly do it, and it'll become so much of a skill. It's like even when the person that you're doing it to, you know, have your best interest at heart. You know that they care about you.
Yeah.
But because you've done it so often, you can't even stop yourself now. Now it's just a part of it's your makeup. It's in your genetics.
I think you're right, because I think it's almost equivalent to like like sometimes, like, say somebody try try to fry on you or something like that, like, you know what I'm saying, like try to insult you.
Mm-hmm.
And you got some people that it take me 0.2 seconds and I got something coming for your ass right back.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that, like, in my mind I'm like, oh, I'm peeping this shit about you and I'm waiting for you to ever talk negatively about me. So it's like, I can't wait to bring this up. But like you said, it's like second nature. Like, what? Like, so it's like some people have like good comebacks just off the top of their head, and it's not like they've been like holding on to it, like waiting to say something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
It,
I guess you're right.
yeah, they will quickly dump whatever energy you're giving to them. They will
Mm,
find a way to make it all your fault.
yeah.
No matter what they did wrong, they will find a way to make it all your fault. I dealt
Yeah.
with a woman who would give me my excuses for me. If I didn't want to hang out with her or something like that, she would tell me why I'm not hanging out with her. And I'm like, yeah, that's the reason. Yeah, that was it. And I wasn't even thinking about that. But
Yeah.
and when I felt myself doing that, because I'm not a narcissistic person, as a matter of fact, I'm the exact opposite of that.
Yeah.
I had to let her go. I'm like, yo, because you're always gonna give me an out
Mhm.
for what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like she'd be like, oh, I just figured we could go to dinner or something. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. She'd be like, oh yeah, you probably gotta work. I'm like, I gotta work. You talking about 9 o'clock at night? I'm not even thinking about work at that time.
Yeah.
But I'll be like, yeah, you're right. I'll probably be at work. And I was like, yeah, I can't do this because that's not even who I am. And I
Yeah.
felt like I was controlling somebody. And I was like, maybe somebody else might give them everything they want, but it's not me right now.
Mhm.
Um, but some people, they love snatching that energy away from you, and their narcissism is the way that they can do it.
You think
Narcissists are also master liars. They are
that's
masters at it. They will manipulate the shit out of you. They are masterful at it, and they've been practicing it for years.
but that's what I'm saying. So I like low key, even though I hate to say this, I feel like narcissists are very intelligent to a certain degree,
Yeah.
because they're also dumb as shit. And the only reason why I say they're dumb as shit is because something's not clicking in your mind that when someone genuinely cares about you or love you, you look at that as like the opposite of what it is. And that's why I feel like they're dumb as shit. I feel like they're smart as shit to a certain degree, but they're also dumb because you actually push what is genuine away and you can't discern what is real versus what is not. You know? Um and the fact, because this is the thing, like when it comes to even narcissists, like it's one thing if you don't want to be with somebody, that's fine. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not always gonna be with any and every person that you meet, right? But if somebody's in your life, like this person genuinely loves you and care about you, why are you trying to push them away? Why are you
Yeah.
trying to back in, push them away? Like, why would you push that away? Or even another thing that crosses my mind, like, why would a narcissist think? Because they always tend to try to deal with people who are empaths. Like, why would you think?
Mm-hmm.
Because the empath, you have, you're gonna have that soft spot. Like, you know what I'm saying? Um, but why would my thing is like, why would a narcissist think that like someone is really going to always want to stay with you if you're consistently mistreating them? Like, a logical person, right? Like, oh, I treat them, and don't get me wrong, because empaths, they tend to stay longer than the average person. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
you lack empathy, like you're once you see that someone is manipulating and gaslighting and shit blaming, you're like, oh, I'm out. Like,
Yeah.
empaths are a little different because it's like, damn, whole time, like empaths really be like, damn, this person really like hurting. This person really ain't received real love in their life. Like they need love. So like, let me give them the love that I
Let me
got.
give them the
Yeah.
love. Let me pour into them.
Yeah. So that's why like I feel like empaths tend to stay a little longer. But the thing is with empaths, there a lot of times empaths are emotionally intelligent. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so after a while, even though what a narcissist do to an empath is technically like mental abuse, eventually that empath is going to evolve, with their emotional intelligence and realize like you're doing nothing but manipulating me. You're never going to change. Why am I staying with someone who is consistently mistreating me? You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
that's the only reason why I say like narcissists are dumb to a certain degree, because like why do you think that you're gonna get away with, and I'm not gonna say some narcissists haven't got away with it for a long time, because you got some narcissists that got married to people and they was in a marriage 20 years and manipulating all this shit, and that person stayed 20 plus fucking years. But logically thinking, like, why would you really think that you get away with mistreating someone for 3, 5 years and eventually that person is not going to walk away? Yes. Why? Because you got away with it and you think that your time won't be up at a point of time, because you're dumb as hell to believe that that empath with that emotional intelligence isn't eventually going to click and be like, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? Fuck this piece of shit. Like I'm done. Like, and they really think that because they, play those mind games and stuff, that it will never happen.
I've watched somebody that was married for, I want to say 13, 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
A die-hard narcissist. I
Yeah.
used to sit and watch them and how they would be with their significant other. And I would be like, why would you treat somebody you love like this? Like, why are you doing it?
Yeah.
And when they wanted to go out, like on the weekends, they wanted to go hang out with their homies, they would intentionally cause an argument. And then on their way back home, they'll buy some roses to make up for the argument that they started. And they
Yeah.
started the argument just so that that person's mad at them. So while they're out, they won't be bothered.
Mm-hmm.
But when they come back, they know they got to come back in. So now I got to pull you back in. So I'm gonna pick up some flowers on the way back home. You know what I'm saying? Tell you I'm sorry. And their significant other dealt with it for so long, and then it clicked. That one day,
Mm-hmm.
it's like something just snapped,
Yeah.
and it was just like, "Fuck this, I'm out." Like, not an explanation, not we're just not going to work. I'm talking about they came home and the person's shit was gone. Like they were out,
Yeah.
and the papers was filed that next Monday.
Yeah.
Like, but because no matter how no matter how much somebody is into you, self-preservation will eventually kick in.
Mm-hmm.
And when self-preservation kicks in, now I'm not talking about somebody who's abused, who just can't walk away because they're scared to walk away. I'm talking about somebody who has the wherewithal in their mind that says, you know what, I'm not being treated good. This shit's over.
Yeah.
And it will click one day. It may be 5 months, it may be 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But if you treat somebody like that long enough, eventually they catch on to what the hell you're doing.
Yeah. And they,
Um,
and I feel like they will eventually, even if it's an empath, even if they have a soft spot for you, it's gonna go away. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
Because at and especially like someone who is an evolved empath, you're eventually going to look at it like, what am I gaining from this relationship other than being torn down, mistreated, mentally abused? Some people are physically abused. They realize like it's only one person benefiting in the relationship, and that's not a relationship. So yeah, I don't know. Even you telling me that shows that narcissists are aware of what they doing. Because if he knew, like, oh, I'm gonna start an argument before I leave, just so I can have peace when I leave, but then I'll get back on her good side by bringing some flowers back. That shows like they're very aware of the things that they're doing. You know.
Like, and I would be like, yo, why are you getting like you would hear the argument being started, and it would be something stupid to start an argument. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, we getting ready to go hang out. Like, why would you start an argument with them to mess up your peace? And he was like, no, that's not got peace when I'm out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she's mad at me, she's not gonna reach out to me while I'm hanging out because she's mad. And they would do something stupid to come back in, like call them on their way back. Yo, I know we had an argument later. Yo, let's go grab some let's go to the breakfast spot and get some breakfast. You know what I'm saying? We just need to sit down and talk. No, she don't need to talk. You need to talk. You the one who started the argument.
Yeah.
But yes, that's masterful. And I would see it. And the person that they were dealing with, I would watch them go through this every couple of weekends that they wanted to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
Every few weekends. And I'm like,
yeah,
when is that shit gonna, like, when are you gonna, I'm not gonna tell on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my boy. But I'm like, when the fuck is that shit gonna click? Like, you are being mentally abused right now. Blink twice if you in trouble, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're being abused.
Yeah.
And then when it did click, it was instantaneous.
And then that's when the narcissists start crying like fucking babies and shit.
Mm-hmm. Now
like,
everything is that other person's fault.
Same motherfucker that was dragging on me. You crying?
Everything is that other person's fault. I can't believe you would do this to me. I come home and you left. I can't believe that you would do it. And they're telling everybody that can listen to them now.
Yeah.
Everybody within earshot, because it's got to be the other person's fault.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, all of a sudden, the person they was abusing for years is the worst person in the fucking world.
Yep.
That should be crazy.
Got to be their fault now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, yo, we had a good show. I've enjoyed this. I love these topics. I love when we talk like this.
Yeah.
So make sure y'all tune in. Do us a favor though. Now I know we don't ask y'all for a lot of favors, but do us this one favor. Share the show. I know we ask y'all all the time to like, subscribe, share, but we are really, really trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of February. That is our goal. Right now we are at 1,400. It's only 600. So tell 600 people that you enjoyed the show and they need to watch it because they'll enjoy it too, because we're trying to hit 2,000. And then March, we're going to ask y'all to do it again because we're trying to get to 3,000. So we ain't going to stop asking y'all. We're just going to ask for small amounts now. So tell 600 people that you enjoyed the show and they'll enjoy the show too. And make sure that they like, subscribe, and share it with 600 other people so we can get a head start on March. But until next Wednesday, we love y'all. Much, much love. Enjoy y'all Valentine's Day weekend, however you see fit, even if it's just self-care. If you just take yourself to the movies and you just love on yourself, that's enough love for you. That's all you really need. But until next Wednesday, we out, people. Be easy.
This is Love, Sex, and Society with Bridget and Don. Please like, subscribe, and share.